This is Martin Caidin at Cape Canaveral.
But together, you and me, all of us, can convince the American public that their only strength lies in facing issues head on.
Well, he was different and that he was outgoing, and he was very abrupt, very sharp. He would say what he wants, what he wanted to, how he felt, what he wanted to say. He didn't hold back. His demeanor was so strong that it was probably offensive to most people, especially if you didn't know him. I think they would be offended by listening to him or even talking to him. But he was a gentle, very generous. And, you know, he was my friend. It's easy to say that, but I really can't. I look back in all the years that I've known him, and I can't think of anything that I honestly could say I don't like about him.
Now, this convention hall, I don't know, it had, I don't know, I'm not going to say 1,000 people. There was a lot of people there. It was full. He goes up on, and I got a seat right down front. It was kind of cool. And he goes up on the podium there, and he starts talking. And he talked everything from Cesian clocks to this, to time warps, and I mean, and he had the people, they're all leaning forward, you know, they can't believe what's coming. I mean, he was just for 2.5 hours without a break. And then they gave him a standing ovation when he was done and everything.
And trying to predict tomorrow is that invariably we will all be wrong to some extent. We'll be wrong not because we can't predict the way society will move or the way engineering or science or technology will take place and follow certain patterns, but because it's always impossible to anticipate the inventions that have not yet been created.
When he came out with Marooned, there was a space symposium one time that had the Russians and the Chinese and all of the other countries that were working on going into space. And they finally said, why can't we get along like they do in this book Marooned, like they did in this movie Marooned? And they said, well, what are you talking about? And they said, well, the cosmonauts rescue the astronauts. And they said, you mean in this movie, we're the heroes? And he said, yes. And because of Marooned, Apollo-Soyuz came. And because of Marooned, every single locking mechanism, whether it's Russian, American, Indian, Chinese, any spacecraft that goes to the International Space Station, all have the same locking mechanism, standardized because of Martin Caidin.